Hello everybody. My name is Leon. For today's talk, we will be talking about on how to write descriptively. Did you ever try to read a fiction, maybe something like that, and you see that the writers just actually makes you to feel like you're the character in that story? What about when you're writing? When you're writing, you experiments just the same thing. You got involved into the story. But the way that you express your own story doesn't make them feel like it's actually true. It's just as if reading, not actually delving into the story. If you have ever faced that problem, then today's video is for you. So, first, we are going to be looking at what we shouldn't do to have a nice descriptive writing or simply a fiction. If you are writing in like fiction and you want to describe something in that story, then firstly, don't describe in a matter of fact. Did you ever just read a book? You saw them using so many comparisons, such as maybe we have a girl named Billy. A very big writer could say that Billy is exhausted. Her eyes were like a bag of bleach, and her legs seems to just be as cooked noodles. Well, what if we just use Billy was nauseous and exhausted? That can be completely the same, but when you use the second kind of comparison, you actually know that you know what Billy feels, but you doesn't know what Billy experienced in that time. Like it's not like her eyes have actual bleach and her legs actually are cooked noodles. It shows out how much exhaustion does Billy have in that situation, which is something so extraordinary and very good. Next, don't use non-tactical language. Do you ever try to use these kind of words that are just too normal? Did you ever look at like synonyms of some word? Like maybe if you are a smart writer, then you would probably use exhaustion more than tired. Use a complex language, but don't make it too serious. Choose that word that completely fit into the meaning of what you're trying to express. And there we go. Next, don't use cliches or overuse images. A lot of writers in the world have been told that, hey, don't use cliches. What is cliches then? Cliches is a thing that a lot of people use, and it's just as if a very normal word to contain in every piece of writing. So maybe if you are wanting to describe about a love situation in a beach, a lot of people could say roses are red, violets are blue, my love for you is true. What about you? That could be something so normal and everybody can do that. But if you are a smart writer and you know how to distinguish properly, then you could use your own expressions. You could describe it as one day as Henry was enjoying the beach, he saw a girl wearing a cherry patterned dress walking along the beach coast. In that time, he knew what was love at first sight is. And so you can see that not a lot of people would prefer to use what that writer used, right? So avoid using cliches or overused images to make your writing more interesting and unique. Lastly is no overt comparison. Let me say, Maybe you are describing a night, a very dark night in your place. So if your place is very, very quiet, then what word would you use to describe this word quiet? Like quiet as a ghost or ghost quiet. Well, in my point of view, if you use quiet as a ghost, that is wrong because it just means completely scary, and that makes the our comparison too complex and even not making any sense at all. So avoid using over comparison. Next, what should we do to make our writing way more interesting? Well, things that you should do in your writing is first, make complex association. You don't need to make everything too complex or like too hard, but use associations that are important and that does not matches anybody else. And next is use abstract comparison. If you know how to compare things with another thing, it'll be very good. Such as if just a very simple thing. Maybe when you're writing about somebody's eyes or like maybe a cat's people like this, then a lot of people will say that it's round as a ball or like it's green, it's round like anything like a ball that they eat or like even a soccer ball. But if you want to make abstract comparison that does not make things overrated, but also helps that your own writing to be way much more unique, you could use comparisons such as the cat's people is as shiny as the stars on a dark night. It's actually very amazing. And so today we've talked about on how to write descriptively. I really hope that after this video, if you're interested in writing, then you could learn some very amazing tips on how to make your writing way much more funnier. And I hope that you like this topic of writing of mine. Thank you so much for listening and goodbye. See you next time.